Focus is one of the biggest powers of our brain. Despite this, very few people know how to use this power. If we ask when our mind is most powerful, or when we use most of our mind, there is only one answer. When the mind is most focused, this is also called the state of flow. When we are so immersed in work that we don't know what is happening around us. In this state, our brain becomes most productive and works on its highest level of intelligence. And this is the state in which we don't even know the time. This is called time dilution. Although there can be many other causes of time dilution, like parties, get-togethers, entertainment. But in all these cases, neither does our mind go into a flow state, nor does any high-level intelligence of our mind work. But when time dilution happens due to any creative or intellectual activity, then the chances of the brain going into a flow state are very high. According to psychology, in this state, our mind feels the highest levels of happiness and satisfaction. Let's know what is a flow state and how it can be achieved. In a flow state, our attention, our mind is very deeply focused on our goal. And this happens because our mind doesn't get distracted due to the strong focus. In this state, our psychic energy is completely in our control, which is why we can use it to the maximum. In a state of flow, our mind experiences integration, in which our thoughts, feelings, intentions, goals, and all senses integrate together and focus at the same place. Any work done in this state is so powerful that it becomes a part of our subconscious mind. And this becomes our habit. And if these habits continue, then these habits become our permanent nature. This is why if we want to develop a new skill or want to bring a major change in our behavior, it is not possible until we go into a state of flow. Now the question is, how is a state of flow achieved? And what are the problems? The human mind is not naturally programmed to go into a state of flow. This is why the mind prefers to be distracted as soon as possible, even if it has to pay a price in the long run. There are only two conditions where the mind naturally focuses. Either instant gratification, meaning we get the result of what we are doing at that time. For example, watching a movie, watching a web series, or listening to music. The result of what we are doing, which in this case is entertainment, the mind gets it instantly. And the second condition is if there is a major risk factor. For example, driving. Here too, the mind naturally focuses because if it is not focused, there is a risk of a road accident. Mihaly Csikszentmihalyi, in his book Flow, The Psychology of Optimal Experience, says that if such a strong focus is maintained for 60 to 90 minutes, the mind goes into a state of flow. But the good news is that we can control this focus and state of flow ourselves. Now let's understand how this happens from this graph. There are two ways to focus on a task. First, how much skill or expertise do we need in it? Second, how difficult is it for us to do that task? What is the difficulty level? In this graph, the vertical line is the line of skill, and the horizontal line is the line of difficulty. If you are doing something in which you are very expert, very skilled, but it is very easy for you to do that task, then it will not be interesting for you. Because any task is interesting when it has a little thrill, a little challenge, and a little difficulty. And the task that is not interesting, the mind cannot focus on it for a long time. And doing such a task, the mind can get bored very quickly. And in the same way, if you do not have the skill, you are not an expert, but that task is very difficult for you, then the mind will not be able to focus on it for a long time. Because during such a task, anxiety and fear will always be there in the mind. For example, you have played a game so many times that it has become very easy for you. In this case, the game that you liked very much will get boring for you very quickly. And on the other hand, suppose you started learning guitar and you are asked to play a song of a very advanced level in the beginning, which is very difficult for you. In this case, your mind will not be able to focus on learning the guitar due to anxiety and fear. So the conclusion is, to make a task interesting and to develop focus in that task, it is necessary that the task that we are experts in, that task should be equally challenging and difficult for us. If we are less experts, then that task should be less difficult at that level. If the skill and difficulty level are equal, then only the mind can focus on that task for a long time and go into a state of flow. It is possible that even after this, there is a little problem in focusing, so a very big reason for this is mental laziness, which you will get the answer in this video. Meanwhile, here are two main things to remember for us. To increase focus, if you are an expert in a task, then the focus can be achieved by making it more challenging. But if you are not that expert in a task, if you do not have the skill, then the focus can be achieved by making it easier. Don't forget to press the like button and subscribe the channel. It really helps us to keep going. As always, thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next one.